Hi, welcome to Study Abroad 101. To start things off, I'm just going to show you a quick video. Yeah, so that was just to give you a quick look at all the cool places you can go and all the amazing things you can do while studying abroad. So if you're already interested in studying abroad, or you are after that video, or you become interested after this presentation, you can always come and see us at our office. We're at 526 Prices Fork Road. We do walk-in advising hours with our peer advisors. You can find the most up-to-date information about when those are going to be on our website. And we would love to answer any or all of your questions about study abroad, help you find a great program for you, help you find scholarships for that program, just help you get ready for a great study abroad. We want every student to study abroad at Virginia Tech, so we're just happy to help you along the way. And if you want more information about studying abroad or our office, you can follow us on Instagram, friend us on Facebook, visit our website. You can scan this QR code to get on our monthly student newsletter, where we send out lots of great information and resources to students. So yeah, just make sure to connect with us and stay up to date with all things study abroad. And so now I'm just going to talk a little bit about like the benefits of studying abroad, why we think a student should study abroad. And the first is just going to be because you have so much room for personal growth while studying abroad. You'll grow in your maturity, your confidence, your independence, your self and social awareness, and you'll build lasting friendships. Um, just because you're going somewhere so different from Virginia Tech, you're going to gain a whole new perspective and just grow as a person so much. Many of my best friends here at Virginia Tech, here now as a senior, are people that I met my sophomore year while I was studying abroad. So you really are going to make so many great friends while studying abroad and just meet so many amazing people, all while growing as a person and just becoming the older person, more mature person that you're supposed to be. And you're also going to grow in your job skills because you have to adapt. You're going to grow in your global competence. You're going to build intercultural skills, grow in your leadership skills and your communication skills. Going to another country, there might be cultural differences, language gaps, and you're going to have to navigate those things, which just help you grow so much in your adaptability, your global competence, and just become a more well-rounded individual as a whole. Let me just have a quick quote from Edith Wharton. One of the great things about travel is that you find out how many good, kind people there are. Personally, I couldn't agree with this more. I've now gone abroad 3 times during my time at Virginia Tech, and each time I just run into so many amazing people who want to help me along the way, want to show me their culture, want to learn about my culture. There's just so many amazing people out there, and you're never going to meet any of them if you don't go abroad and see the world. So at Virginia Tech, there's 3 main types of programs that students can do to go abroad. The first is going to be faculty-led, the next is going to be exchanges, and the last is going to be through partner providers. And I'm just going to talk a little bit more in detail about all three of those. So first up, you have faculty-led programs, which are going to be when you go with a Virginia Tech professor and a group of Virginia Tech students to take Virginia Tech courses. You'll just take them elsewhere, or you'll take a class at Virginia Tech that prepares you for travel elsewhere. A lot of these are going to be our shorter programs. So if you want to go somewhere like for a week over spring break or a shorter time period over summer or winter break, a lot of these faculty-led programs are going to be great for you. But there are a few semester-long faculty-led programs as well. So if you want to go somewhere for a long time, but you kind of want the support that's built in with a faculty-led program, there are some options for you. And like I mentioned, you're going to take Virginia Tech courses, so you don't have to worry about transfer credits or anything like that because it'll all just be Virginia Tech credit. And you're going to pay Virginia Tech tuition for these. So if you're an in-state student, you'll continue to pay your Virginia Tech in-state tuition. If you're an out-of-state student, you'll continue to pay your Virginia Tech out-of-state tuition. But the cost will be very similar to what you pay here at Virginia Tech because you're continuing to pay the same tuition. Now we just have a quote from a student who went on a faculty-led program. Emma said, "I became a stronger person mentally and physically. I was able to gain new friendships in a totally different setting, showing me how to do it in the future. I became a better person because when you believe in yourself, that energy empowers you." And then so something that's pretty cool and unique about Virginia Tech is we actually have our own like mini campus in Riva San Vitale, Switzerland. It's called the Steger Center, and it's in a old villa that they've renovated to become a more modern learning place. And it can be your home base for studying abroad and living in Europe. Many of these semester-long faculty-led programs that I talked about are at the Steger Center. And it's a living learning community, so you'll be there with about 50 or 60 other Virginia Tech students. Some are a part of your same program, some are a part of different programs. So you get to meet all sorts of different people, all while kind of having that stability and safety feeling of being at like Virginia Tech, surrounded by Virginia Tech faculty who all speak English. And there's a lot of specific scholarships for studying at the Steger Center because it is Virginia Tech like owned and operated. Um, so this can be a great thing to look at if you want to do a faculty-led program but want to do a longer-term program. And there are some shorter programs as well. But it's just a really cool place that Virginia Tech has to offer for its students. Okay, and so now the next way that students can study abroad at Virginia Tech is going to be through an exchange. An exchange is similar to a faculty-led in that you're going to continue to pay your Virginia Tech tuition. But other than that, you're going to be going to another university, taking courses there, and then transferring those credits back to Virginia Tech. So you have to earn a C or better in your classes, and they come back as transfer credits, which do not affect your GPA. A lot of these are great for our longer term programs. If you want to go for a whole semester or even a whole year, exchanges can be a great option because you go and you just take classes at another university for their whole semester or for their whole academic year. This is great if you want to have a lot more cultural immersion than a faculty-led program because you're going to go and a lot of times you take classes with local students or students from other countries as well. And a lot of times if you want to learn another language or you already know another language, classes can be taught in the local language. So if you want some of that language immersion, this can be a great option. But if you don't speak another language or you're not learning another language, don't worry. Many classes are often taught in English in other places as well. So you'll be able to find a course list for courses taught in English, and you won't have to worry about that language aspect. And yeah, like I said, this is a lot more independent of a study abroad than a faculty-led. So if you're really looking for some cultural immersion, exchanges can be a great option for you. And then a quote from Cosette, who did an exchange. She said, "I think it is really important to open up your perspective during your studies and learn a lot more than what just one institute can teach you. Coming to Europe, I have learned so many different ways of thinking." And then lastly, there's partner provider programs, which I like to say are kind of a good mix between a faculty-led and exchange because Oftentimes you're going to another university or another place and taking courses there. Um, but there is a lot more support built in with a partner provider than there is with just a plain exchange. A lot of times they'll have excursions or guaranteed housing, help with visas. Sometimes they even have staff on the ground where you are to help you kind of get assimilated once you're there. So it's a little bit more independent sometimes than a faculty-led program, but there's definitely more support built into a partner provider program than there is with an exchange program. If you're an out-of-state student, a lot of times partner provider programs can actually end up being more affordable because they charge the same tuition for all students, so it doesn't matter if you're in-state or out-of-state. So you can avoid paying your out-of-state tuition for a semester and just pay directly to the partner provider. Partner providers pretty much have programs anywhere that the United States government will let you travel. So if there's a really specific country you're wanting to go to and you're not finding a Virginia Tech program that goes there, a lot of times a partner provider will have a program to go there. And so just a quote from a student who did a partner provider program. She said, "I've been able to take courses that are unique for my major, studying the wildlife and environment of Queensland. I did a research project on the wild eastern grey kangaroos, where I got to do data collection in the field and hang out with these amazing animals." So yeah, a lot of times partner providers have like really cool specific programs like this where you can go somewhere and study kangaroos or study something really niche, because there's literally partner providers all over the world, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do. And then another quote we have is, "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page." This one's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, there's so much to see out there. And if you don't go and see it, you're not getting the whole picture of what the world has to offer. And then just a quick did you know section. Um, did you know in the 23-24 academic year, 1,500 Hokies studied abroad? 20% of them were either low income or first generation students. 200 students traveled abroad during their first year. So a lot of students go abroad after the summer after their freshman year. Usually you can't go abroad during your actual freshman year, but the summer after, things kind of open up for you. And then we see most students go abroad in their sophomore or junior year, but there's definitely options in your senior year or a summer after your freshman year. 15% of those students were studying abroad for the second time. So it's very common for students to go abroad and completely fall in love with it, have the time of their life, and want to go back again. I know some of our peer advisors have studied abroad more than once. I studied abroad once, and then the summer after I studied abroad, I did an internship abroad because I just couldn't wait to get back out there. And I had such a fantastic time studying abroad. 55% of these students went during either summer or spring break. So if you're really worried about missing a semester here in Blacksburg, you think it'll mess up your academics, or you just love Blacksburg so much and you don't want to miss out on a semester here, there's still study abroad options for you. A lot of students go during summer, spring break, winter break. So you don't have to miss out on a whole semester to have an amazing study abroad experience. And it gives you a little more flexibility in terms of courses and stuff like that. And going along with that, all 8 colleges sent students abroad. So you might be thinking, oh, my major is really hard, I can't go abroad. And that's not true. Students from all majors, all backgrounds can go abroad. There are programs specifically designed for majors that are traditionally harder to study abroad for. So just because you think your major might have a rigid set of courses or be a really hard major, don't let that stop you from looking, because I'm sure you can find a program that works for you, and you can have an amazing study abroad experience as well. Finances. In that same academic year, 250 of those students studied abroad at no cost to themselves. This is because there are so many scholarships available to students studying abroad. Every year, our office, the Global Education Office, gives $500,000 in scholarships. And all 8 colleges also have specific study abroad scholarships. Like I mentioned, places like the Steger Center have specific scholarships for students going there. A lot of the partner providers have specific scholarships for their programs. You can find scholarships for your major. Um, so don't let the cost of studying abroad stop you from looking. Even if the program is a little more expensive, oftentimes you can find scholarships to help offset that cost. For some programs, you can use your existing financial aid to pay for that program. Um, a lot of programs end up costing about the same as a semester here at Virginia Tech. Like I said, those exchanges, you continue to pay your Virginia Tech tuition, but you go to another university abroad and take courses there. And some programs can cost less than a semester at Virginia Tech. Like I said, some of those partner providers can be significantly less expensive for out-of-state students because you're not paying out-of-state tuition, you're just paying directly to that partner provider. There are some programs where you can directly enroll at another university and pay their tuition. And oftentimes other countries have cheaper tuition than we do in the United States, so you can actually end up saving money by studying abroad. Um, so don't let the finances of study abroad scare you away and stop you from looking, because there are affordable options to study abroad. And then academics. The academic credit you earn while studying abroad will be applied to your degree at Virginia Tech. So no matter your major, there's a program for you. I already touched on this a little bit, but even if you think you have a really hard major to study abroad with some really rigid courses that you have to take, um, don't let that stop you from looking because there are programs designed specifically for every major. Or if you don't want to take major classes, you can knock out your pathways classes. You can take classes towards your minor or knock out some electives. So yeah, there's study abroad options for everyone, no matter your major. And you don't have to know or be learning a foreign language. Like I mentioned, a lot of places, a lot of universities at other places offer courses in English. So you don't have to be learning a foreign language. And some places you can study abroad speak English if you went to the UK or Ireland or Australia. So don't let the language scare you away either. There are a lot of options for English speakers. And all of those faculty-led programs will be taught by Virginia Tech professors, so they'll be speaking English with you as well. So yeah, don't let the language scare you away from studying abroad. And then safety. Virginia Tech is not going to let you travel somewhere that they think is unsafe. We set extensive safety guidelines to make sure every student is safe during their time abroad. There's someone on campus at Virginia Tech with a phone who you can call 24/7 while you're abroad if you run into any sort of issue. If you sprain your ankle and have to go to the doctor, or you have to go to the hospital, or you lose your wallet, you can always call this number and they'll be able to help walk you through the situation and resolve it as best as possible. Every program has a pre-departure orientation where you're going to learn how to be safe abroad. And it really just sets you up for success while you're abroad. And every Virginia Tech student who studies abroad enrolls in our CISI International Insurance, which keeps you covered if you have to go to the doctor for some reason, if you have to go to the hospital. You don't have to worry about those costs because your international insurance will cover it for you. And then just another quote for you. Sometimes one day in a different place gives you more than 10 years of life at home. And we have a picture here of the Virginia Tech basketball team at Monte Generoso, Switzerland. And Monte Generoso is actually a mountain that's right by the Steger Center. So if you decide to study abroad there, you can go to the top of the mountain and see these amazing views like the Virginia Tech basketball team. So if you were already interested in studying abroad, or you've now listened to this presentation, you're interested in studying abroad, or if you're still not sure, but you're a little bit interested, what should you do now? We recommend that all students who go abroad schedule an appointment with a peer advisor. You can talk with students who have gone abroad, who have done the application process, gone abroad, come back, gotten their credit, and just hear about their process, how they went through it, and they'll be able to help you through the whole application process and everything you have to do to go abroad. And just talk to you about like your options, if you want to go abroad for a whole semester, if you want to do a shorter program. They'll be able to help you figure out what works best for you, and just listen to what you have to say and kind of bounce ideas off. Next, you can apply for the program and scholarships. A lot of times our programs are going to open up about a year before you would go abroad. So if you wanted to study abroad in spring 2027, for instance, those applications will probably be opening up sometime in spring 2026. Um, and then applications are usually due early in the semester before you would go abroad. Um, so if that timeline means you have to be applying right now, you can go to our website and find the applications, apply to your programs after you've talked to a peer advisor, and they'll be able to help you through that process. If not, you can just be looking at programs and kind of be aware of that general timeline so you know when those programs are going to open up for you. And then after you've applied and been accepted, you'll do your pre-departure preparations, and then you go abroad. And if you have any questions, you can shoot us an email at vtabroad, or you can give us a phone call, and we're happy to answer any and all questions you might have about studying abroad.